Hey guys, thought I'd do a quick tutorial for you today. If you have raised snakes long enough, you're gonna come in contact with the dreaded. Every snake keeper hates them, the mites. Alright, little black specks that get on your snake. If your snake spends a lot of time in the water, this might be an issue. You definitely want to check things out. I personally use a paper towel for substrate. That way I can see if there's any kind of mite problems that I need to address. So real quick, I'm going to show you, this right here is called Hot Shot No Pest Strips. Basically you get this at Walmart, any kind of store will sell them. Now there are some people that will say, don't use chemicals on your snakes. I've been using this method for quite a while and I've never had an issue. So I'm not going to say some snakes will be affected with this. I'm just saying I've never had one affected by this method. But basically what you do is you get the no pest strip from Hot Shot. When it comes out, you're going to notice this right here. This is what people are hanging up to kind of help with flying insects or even crawling insects. As a society, we put hopes in a lot of things to work, but for the most part, if you're going to hang this in your home, you're not going to get rid of crap. But fortunately for us, this does work for our snakes. So basically, you're going to pull this out of the package, and you're going to bust it open and pull the wax active ingredient out. What I like to do is use these humdingers right here, and you basically cut about 1 inch by 1 inch. This stuff is kind of hard. It is a hard wax or whatever material it is. Cut a strip like this, cut that in half. You pretty much have a 1 by 1 strip. Now the other thing you need are these little Dixie cups. These here are sold in any store. Condiment, they use them for ketchup, or people put ranch dressing or any kind of salad dressing in there. Anyway, these little things come like $2. You get like 100 of them with the caps. So basically all you do, you take that little piece right there, stick it in the cup, put the top on it. Now what I like to do is use a knife, or I use a screwdriver, and basically you're going to put 2 holes on the top of this and maybe 3 holes around the side and then 1 hole on the bottom. The reason I do that is when the snake's rolling around in its enclosure or in its tub, it's going to roll this thing over. If you have the holes just on the top, it's not going to be effective. So put them on the sides, the top, and the bottom. Depending on the size of your enclosure, most people have either a 4x2 enclosure, PVC, or even the aquariums or whatever. But typically on a 4x2 enclosure, I will use 2 cups, 1 on either side. And what you want to do, we'll go over the whole procedure in the enclosures here in a minute. I use tubs. Usually with the tubs, I just use 1 cup. And within, you put this in for 5 days, the whole procedure is take the snake out, clean out the tub very well. I use a mixture of water and Dawn. Doesn't take a whole lot of Dawn, but Dawn also will help you with the mites as well. Clean the tub out real good, or the enclosure. Lay down some new substrate. The important thing is you have to take the water out of the enclosure or the tub. You do not want any kind of water in with your snakes while you're using these. A snake can go quite a while without water. So I usually put these in for 5 days. After the 5th day, take the snake out, clean it again, remove all your substrate, lay down new substrate, put the snake back in, give them some water. Let the water sit in there for a day or 2. Repeat the process. Take the snake out, remove the water, replace the substrate after you've washed everything, place that cup right back in. Typically 2 treatments of this. If you go about 10 to 14 days, mites are taken care of. This way, you know, I've heard several people using Frontline on their snakes. I used to do the old method of extra virgin olive oil. You rub it down the snake's body, you take the, clean out the substrate. It supposedly smothers the mites. That works to a certain extent. If you have one snake, that will work really well. I've got multiple. I've got, I think, close to 40 now. But this method I use almost exclusively now, and it does the job. You're not going to avoid mites. It's going to happen. You may be the lucky one to never have mites. If you are, I applaud you. For the most part, mites are just part of the hobby that we have. So, by going through the whole process again, remove your snake, remove the substrate, scrub it down really good, top, bottom, inside of the substrate, on the wall, or on the in the enclosures, and the walls, the top, everything. Any little crack and crevice that a mite might be able to hide, and that includes up by your light fixture if you have one. Any kind of furniture that you might have in there, take it out and get that cleaned up as well. Put your new substrate in. A lot of people use newspaper. That is a really good substrate during this process. I like to use paper towels. Paper towels get kind of expensive. I go through, let's see, 12 packs in probably a month and a half, and that is approximately $100 worth of paper towels. So newspaper might be better for you. Anyway, after you replace the substrate, place the snake back in there. Do not put the water in. Place your cup. If it is a tub, use 1. If it is a 4x2 enclosure, I like to use 2. If it is a 6-foot enclosure, guess what, guys? You guessed it, 3. I like to use 3 in that. And it also depends on your venting system that you might have. This one here is vented really heavily, so I close off the ports, close off the vents, and let that really soak in. Again, I have never had any trouble health-wise with my snakes by using this method. Somebody might get on here and say they've had trouble. It may be this, it may be something else. Nobody can tell. I've had vets tell me this is the way to go. I've had vets tell me don't do that. It's introducing a chemical onto your snakes that you don't want them to have. I had a good friend of mine tell me this procedure. It has worked. In the 24 years of raising snakes, I have lost 1 snake. One of my snakes died, but it was due to impaction. It was something that I could not help. He ate a big meal. It wasn't allowed to pass through his system, and he eventually died. But 1 snake out of 24 years, I think I might be doing okay. If you have any questions about this, by all means, write to me, put it in the comments, do what you think you need to do to get in touch with me. I'm also on Facebook, on Instagram. I have many avenues of communication, all of which are labeled under Mostly Snakes. So, if you think this will work for you, give it a shot. It is a relatively inexpensive way to do it. I think altogether I might have, with the cups, and that's buying 100 of them, and the hot shot, I might have $11 in this method. And it is something that will not just work for 1 snake, but if you put the stuff in a Ziploc bag and keep it to where it's not releasing the chemical or whatever, it'll last a long time. Matter of fact, I think I got this package back in November of last year, and I still have cups with the pieces in it that are still going to be effective. So, like I said, any questions, let me know. I just wanted to do a quick video, and hopefully this helps you. I know that there's a lot of people out there that encounter the mites and seek advice on Facebook, which has all of the armchair experts on there, which is where you get your negative comments, and there'll be 1,000 methods that people have said it's been proven. One of the ways is Prevenamite. It is a spray-on insecticide that a lot of people swear by. I personally have not had any luck with Prevenamite. I haven't had any luck from any of the other, like the Zilla, all those products there. Never did have any luck with them. This I've had luck with. So this is what I'm going to endorse. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope it was helpful for you. If you have any questions, like I said, give me a shout. By all means, like the video, subscribe, pass it on to your buddies. I'm really trying to boost this page. I feel like the knowledge that I have, it might be helpful for our community and our hobbyists. So pass it around. I hope to talk to some of y'all soon. And if you have any questions, like I said, please write. If you have a bit of advice for me, if you have corrective criticism, I'm all about it. You know, if I'm not doing something right, let me know, but be sure you have a valid point to back it up. I'm not saying I'm an expert at this. There's things that I learn every single day. And that's what I try to do for you guys. So I hope you enjoyed it. And like I said, give it a like, pass it, tell all your buddies about it, and let's get this thing rolling. Thank you.